There you go. Up and away.
Man, it's the Cornermen Radio. We back. It's been 2 years. I haven't done one video on my channel. It's been a real long time. I know people been saying, what's up with the hiatus? Why you ain't been on your channel?" Man, just a lot been going on, man. I know y'all see me with the shower cap on, but I gotta keep it funky, man. uh, but shout out to the whole LDBC. I got my boy. I don't know if you wanna use your first name or you wanna use your
Nah, just DOG is fine.
DLG is here. He does the best flyers for any fighter, any boxer promoter, any events. You want a real good flyer, holla at DLG, and he get you set up, man, and get your thing looking very professional. Can you give out your where people can see your flyers and everything?
Yeah, DOG Image Creations on Instagram is definitely up. I use it as my kind of gallery of stuff. So DOG Image Creations on Instagram, and on Twitter it's Danny17 Garcia.
Okay. So I I ain't really want to get into it because I felt a little salty. I was eating a little crow. You know what I'm saying? This Saturday, I lost some money on the Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk fight. Um, I knew Usyk was the better boxer. I just didn't know that Joshua was gonna. I just didn't know he was gonna come off like that. And you seen Usyk struggle in his last two heavyweight bouts. You thinking this time around, yo, Joshua Joshua's going to prevail. Like, there's no way he's going to beat him. And I was wrong. I think a lot of people were wrong. But I wasn't feeling it. I think now that Usyk is the unified champion, shout out to Usyk. He's won everything a fighter would wish they can accomplish. Being
In
the
as few fights.
right,
How many fights you got? 18, 19?
I would
Undisputed cruiserweight, unified heavyweight.
golden medalists, golden gloves, you name it. Everything you want to accomplish. Two-time division champion. You gotta salute Usyk. He's accomplished everything you would wish you could accomplish. A lot of people been saying he was too little, but he showed like.
I sat on the fence because I wasn't sure. And
Mhm.
this is one of those weird ones. Is like two gold medalists, both are good boxers, and it's just a matter of who's. It's a game of chess, and
Right.
who is gonna outthink the other person. And it could have gone either way. And Usyk won, and I'm not mad at that. And who knows how it's gonna go in the rematch if they do the rematch. And it's people looked at his last two performances, and those two people weren't trying to outbox him. AJ tried to outbox him. That didn't work. But if they have a rematch, trying to bully him, is that going to work? I don't know. It's a chess match. I don't know. I didn't know how the first one was going to turn out. I had ideas of how it could have turned out. It turned out in Usyk's favor. If they do a rematch, I'm not sure if it's going to be a repeat or if he does something different. Usyk is the type that can adapt. So again, for me, it'll be a toss-up, and that's what happens when you have two highly skilled fighters. You don't know what's going to happen, and I like those fights when I don't know what's going to happen. Fights that you know is going to happen is just kind of like going through the motions. I don't even pay attention when they're on because you're like, oh, okay, this person's going to win. When are they going to win, and how are they going to win? But the AJ Usyk, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked. Not because I was doubting Usyk's skill. It's just bad business. If Joshua lose this fight,
Like you
it's
said,
just
you saw his last two heavyweight fights, and he didn't look impressive.
right.
He didn't look like he could pull out the performance that he pulled out against AJ.
Right. Yeah. But I thought Joshua, The only way he was supposed to win, you're not gonna outbox Usyk. That's not you. You're not the outboxer. You're the boxer puncher. So use the boxer puncher and your size in the fight. That's what you were supposed to do. Yo, Derek Chisora is how old? 40 years old, and gave Usyk a run for his money. I even bet my bro 78 Sports on that fight. I said Usyk is gonna win, but Derek Chisora had a chance of winning. So what did Derek Chisora do? He used his pressure, his size, and his strength. That's what Joshua should have done. And wrong game plan. I know they have to do the rematch because he signed this lifetime contract with Eddie Hearn a couple of last week before this fight was on Saturday. So if think about it, where does Eddie Hearn go? The only reason Eddie Hearn is
They
the
got to
man
do the rematch. They got
is
to do the
Joshua.
rematch.
It's Joshua. Because if you think about it, Canelo just went to PBC for one fight deal, but we don't know what's the future of Paul with Canelo. You only have this man, Joshua, to be like a heavy hitter in the promoter game. So this was bad business, total bad game plan, and he needs to do something else come next time around. Use his size, use clinching, put his lean on him, put your weight on him, try to knock him out, work on your defense a little bit, which you use a little chinny. You know what I'm saying? So he have a lot to work on. He has shown in a rematch he can prevail. So let's hope he can prevail in the rematch because it's just sad for boxing if Usyk wins again because we're never going to get a huge heavyweight fight. Like, are you really going to get excited for Usyk and let's say Tyson Fury wins? Are you excited for Usyk and Tyson Fury? Are you excited if Wilder wins? Are you excited for Wilder and Usyk? No. Man, nobody's gonna jump to their seat for those fights. Man, what's your thoughts on that aspect?
The fight everyone wanted to see was AJ Fury. In the UK, that thing is huge. That thing would have sold out wherever the hell they put it. That was a big one. If for whatever reason, if AJ ever had a chance to fight Wilder, if they settled whatever issues money wise or whatever the beef was or whatever the nonsense is, that would have been big also if they had the belts. A unification for heavyweight is a big deal, but a bigger deal if it's AJ Wilder, if it's AJ Fury. Usyk is still interesting because of how skilled he is. It's Wilder always has a puncher's chance. Fury size and he boxes. That's a bigger size difference and wingspan difference than Usyk versus AJ. And supposedly Fury's a better boxer. So it's an interesting one, but is it as big and exciting as AJ Fury? Probably not. Will it still do good? Yes, because it's undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'd still watch it.
Yeah, we'll watch it, but is it gonna be something like you will like cancel plans and like this is not a fight that you don't want to miss? Because think about it. Think about it like this way, right? Before Fury beat Deontay Wilder, right? The big fight was Wilder and Joshua, right? The two big heavy punches, right? And the two outboxers beat the knockout punches, right? Is Usyk and Fury is a huge fight? Is it going to be bigger than Klitschko and Fury? I doubt it.
It's for undisputed though. That's the thing that it's if it was just Fury versus Usyk just for kicks and just because it's a fight, no. But it's undisputed. So that adds to it, unfortunately. All the belts. When was the last time there was an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
Uh, uh,
The fact that you had to go, it's too long. It's too long.
it's too long. But like again, I just like I'm not looking forward to. I'm really not looking forward to two out boxes
And
fighting for
and Usyk Fury, that's another chess match.
yeah, it's gonna be a true boxing match.
Yep.
You and people talk about how boring slick fighters is. I want to hear
Go
the
back and
same energy. I
look at
want
the
to hear,
CompuBox numbers
uh-huh,
for AJ versus Klitschko. I mean, Fury versus Klitschko,
uh-huh.
and look in a 12-round fight how many punches actually landed in 12 rounds of that fight. Is disappointing, and that's the only thing that I'm afraid of. If it's too cerebral, that they're thinking too much, you're gonna get a lot of pawing jabs that don't do anything and trying to set each other up, and you're gonna have a lot of rounds where everybody's just kind of staring at everybody in the middle of the ring and not a lot of action. And it's like watching a baseball game, and at the end of the game, it's like the bottom of the 10th, and the score is like 1-1. It's like it's cool, it's exciting, but it's like damn, I just most of the time there's a lot of nothing happening in order for it to be 1-1. So those close fights, it could be good and exciting, but I have a feeling that it's going to be too much chess. It's exciting, but people want to see fireworks. People want to see knockouts. So I get where you're coming from. It's the chess matches. What's your preference is? Some people like the chess matches.
Like I said, I don't want to hear nobody talk about. Well, I want the same energy people saying about like Floyd Mayweather, Alexander Laura. You see, I'm rigging down. If I don't hear any negative energy, I'm just gonna feel like you're being biased, totally biased on that aspect. But Usyk and Tyson Fury, don't get me wrong, stylistically, it's a really good fight to watch. Um, but I'm really looking forward to. Come on, we want to see a knockout. We want to see blood, guts, and tears. We want to see an exciting fight. And Usyk and Tyson Fury will not be exciting as Joshua and Fury will be fighting. I mean, Joshua and Wilder be fighting. You know what I mean? But hey, you know what I mean? This is boxing and anything can happen. You know what I mean? We have seen so many upsets. This is like me being a boxing fan watching this era. I've never seen so many upsets in my life. I've never seen it. Never, never, never. You got like, let's say for example, Manny losing to a school teacher, Jeff Horn. He
He
was a
lost.
school teacher.
He lost to Ugas.
But you see what I'm saying? But again, I won money on that fight in the casino. I bet it on Ugis. But I was so shocked on that. So Miguel Cotto losing Stamali. I would never in my wildest dreams.
He got hurt. He got hurt. Anything can happen, but the injury was mostly the reason for that loss.
They're like for another instant, Joshua and Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, that one was unexpected.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you know what I mean? The list goes on. Like, I never thought Jamel Charlo would lose to Tony Harrison after how many guys Tony Harrison got knocked out by. He got knocked out by Willie Nelson. He got knocked out by Jerry Hurt. I'm never in my wildest dream. And Stephen Bradman came on my show and told me I need to stop thinking negative on that fight. Don't shoot that fight down. And I was wrong that when Tony won, but I never in my wildest dream thought he was going to win. Like, I never thought that. So, seeing things like this, J Rock losing to Jason Rosario, like,
Hey, you can be better than somebody
mm,
365 days in a year, but the person only has to be better than you for at least 7 rounds
mm.
that one day. 9 out of 10 times they could lose, but on that one day they can have everything go their way. And that's why it's boxing. Is like if certain people fought 3 times with the same person won each time, some fights are close. Will they win the rematch? And people change, people learn, you know. And those back in the day, those trilogies, you'd win one, you lose one, because you're always learning. And it's like just because you got a loss doesn't mean you can't beat somebody else. If you take that loss and you learn from it, you can beat other people. And that whole thing with the triangle theories, just because that person beat the other person doesn't mean you're going to beat them too. Everybody fights differently. Styles make fights. And if you lose and you don't learn from it, you're going to keep on losing. But that's why this era of everybody wants to protect their own, protect their own, protect their own. Just fight the best fights out there. That's it. It doesn't matter if you got a loss. Because you could lose to that person, but you could whip everybody else's ass. So
Yeah. It's very interesting, man. Salute to Neil Diamond, man, for and but my next take is on this last thing I want to say is, you know how people said Wilder and Usyk are smaller in weight sizes than most of the heavyweights, than all the heavyweights. Imagine them two being the victors, um, and that be the undisputed fight.
my money would be on Usyk.
Interesting. No, I'm not even telling. I'm not even asking you who you think will win, but what's your thoughts on them being the winners?
It's a possibility, and if it is, can that fight be made? If it can be, again, it's the puncher versus the boxer, and that boxer is a very skilled boxer. So it'll be interesting. Either way it goes, if it's Usyk versus Fury, it's a chess match. If it's Wilder versus Usyk, it's basically the one punch wonder versus freaking the Matrix. It'll be interesting. So any way you put it, it's heavyweights. Anything can happen. One punch can change a fight. So Wilder, like I said, Wilder always has a chance if he lands, but will he get that chance to land?
Right. Um. They just announced. Salute to JMC. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Salute to you, man. Um. But they just announced Jaime Munguia versus Gay Rosado. And salute to Dallas, Texas, man. You know what I mean? That's the one state I really want to visit, um, travel to. But anyways, yo, Gay Rosado and Jaime Munguia was announced today. Well, what's your thoughts on that matchup?
It's a good fight. Like I said, Rosado's last performance was freaking amazing. Nobody expected that. He has a lot of experience. Munguia needs to fight somebody with that type of experience. Rosado goes to war. He's had a few things not go his way, even though he probably should have gotten some calls that didn't go his way. Again, those losses on his record, some of them don't deserve to be there, but he goes out and he fights and he puts on a show. So you know it's gonna be a good fight regardless. So and again, it's Puerto Rico versus Mexico. That's always a big thing. So it's a good fight, entertaining. So I got no complaints about it.
Yo, one thing, this guy Neil Diamond know everybody's age when they started boxing. He said Floyd at 17, Canelo at 13, um, Chavez Senior at 7, Spence at 14, James Toney at 13, Mike Tyson at, well, I think Mike Tyson started at 12, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a good fight. It's definitely a good fight. Gay Rosado pulled the upset of the year. We like I said, like these upsets is just crazy, bro. But he beat the bully. They call him the bully.
Yep.
You know, this was the guy who was supposed to fight Kovalev, but he got tested positive. I don't know what actual drugs he was positive in, but you know, it was a banned substance, a banned drug, and they banned those drugs, and Kovalev took it. They fought, I think, four different things in the system, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, going in, Golden Boy was like, yo, we got a real killer. And I'm like, all right, this guy seemed like the must be seeming like the real deal. And you see Gay Rosado knocks him out, what, in the third round? I was like, and he dropped him like Rosado got dropped by the body shot the round before. I was
Yep.
like, that was yo, that was crazy. I felt so happy for Rosado, especially from my city, Philadelphia. You know what I mean? But I was happy for Rosado, man. Like, you know, sometimes we need like just I know we want more than one, but just give me one. You know what I mean? So um it's definitely Munguia and Rosado is definitely going to be a war. Um, um, Munguia is not as defensive. He needs to work on his defense a lot, but he's a fun fighter to watch. Very fun to watch. Um, he has some solid boxing movements and things like that. Rosado is the better boxer. He just gets cut a lot in the eye. You know, we all seen a lot of fighters suffer with eye injuries, but Rosado has never quit on his eye, like most fighters, like Billy Joe, Kell Brook, one of my favorite fighters. The list goes on. Daniel Dubois, eye shots. A lot of people can't handle it, but Rosado stayed tough, stayed tough. So I'm really interested. I'm I don't think this is like the one thing about Munguia is he hasn't done anything since the Saddam Ali fight. Anything big after that. It haven't been anything exciting. I
Yeah, I
did
think he changed trainers and they wanted time to work on whatever they wanted to work on. So this is, I think, a good step up. The only other fight that I would have been cool with for Rosado is if he fought Berlanga. I think that's a good fight too. Rosado versus Berlanga.
yeah, I would have rather want to watch that one because you know what I
So
mean.
between these two, I'm not upset either way because there was talks of Berlanga and Rosado. I thought that would have been cool, but this one is just as good. So I'm good either way.
But the thing is, Rosado just keeps moving in weights. Like, all right, we know
160, 168, 60, 168. Yeah.
didn't he fight the bully at 175? He's a 175 fighter. He's a light heavyweight, right?
Uh
I think he's at a light heavyweight, if I'm not mistaken.
he bounces around.
He bounces around too. He's not a light heavyweight.
Not Rosado. I know he bounces around. So maybe he went up to 175. I think so.
Yeah, I
But
think he did win on 170. So it's like the weights. He just But one thing I can say about Rosado, man, yo, he sure know how to get a payday.
hey,
I've never seen nobody get so many opportunities than Rosado.
put on a show. Put on a show that people want to see.
But it don't even matter the amount of losses and chances I know we give some people like come off with good fights and give us a tough fight and everything, but he has gotten so many opportunities. It's only so many you can do your best, and we still gonna give you your opportunity after doing your best. Like, okay, you gave us a great fight, you gave us another great fight, another great fight. Does that person get rewarded? And I don't see anybody getting rewarded more than Rosado. He has a great team behind him, and I want to salute him on that because that man can get an opportunity. You know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
said, hey, he's bouncing from weight to weight. He puts on a show every single time. There's never, I guess, there's no drama with in the negotiating table. So that makes it easier. You got other people that's like, nope, they think they the A side all the time. So sometimes you got to put your ego to the side, and opportunity's not always gonna be there. So take it when it is. So big ups to him, man. He freaking goes out and he fights, and I like his mentality. And he's gonna put on a show, win, lose, or draw. He's gonna fight. He's a warrior. So
Definitely, definitely,
these are the types of fighters we need to support, not just the
definitely.
people that freaking want to protect their O and fight like every other freaking year and nonsense like that.
I just want Mungia to like shoot for the stars now, shoot to the moon. It's
Yeah, yeah.
after this fight, it's time to like because he's been turning down opportunities.
I said
He
it
had
before. I think somebody mentioned. I said going forward, he should be fighting either former champions or current champions, and that's it. Like you're at a point, you've had enough fights. The learning curve is gone. I. You need to fight the top people. You need to fight people that just lost their belt, who are still contenders, or you got to fight people with belts. That's it. You have more than enough fights under your belt. You've had a belt at 154. You let it go to move up to 160. You need to fight the best. That's it.
yeah, like yeah. I just really want Mungia to really step it up now because he turned down the Demetrius Andre fight. He was the mandatory for Andre belt, and he turned it down. He turned down. He could have got a Charlo opportunity long time ago for the WBC. He didn't even have to fight a title eliminator against Dermachenko. But it's time, man. I know he was really ready to fight Triple G. So for one fight, I know he wanted it. Triple G is the one that turned down Jaime Munguia. So that one shocked me because I'm like, yo, Triple G, you gonna turn down Jaime Munguia? This is a fight that you can practically win and have a good name on your resume if you really want that Canelo fight. This is a person that can help you get that opportunity, beating an undefeated Mexican. You know, because I haven't looked forward to a Triple G fight since he fought Canelo. When is the last time I've been excited? We've been excited for a Triple G fight.
He's supposed to be
So
fighting Murata, I think, December.
yeah, I'm not excited for that either. You know what I mean? I know Triple G is gonna win. Murata lost to Hassim Nadam. Lost to Rob Bryan. Guys like didn't Triple G beat Nadal? Like, if I'm not mistaken. So, or is it was no, it probably was David Lemieux that beat Hassim Nadal.
Yeah, the mute.
But again, like I'm really not looking forward to Murata and Triple G. I might watch it. It's probably too early for me because I hate waking up at 7 in the morning watching a boxing fight or 6 in the morning. I ain't feeling that.
It's
So
only the only reason it's interesting is okay, you fight that, you unify, whatever the hell, and then it's what are you gonna do next? That's the only reason it has any interest to it is what are you gonna do after that?
yeah,
That's
like
it.
I don't get it because I don't know what he doing because Canelo's at 168.
Yeah,
What, what?
I don't see him going back down to 160.
Yeah, so I mean, like, what you do after that? Are you gonna fight Demetrius Andre? Because you've been avoiding him since you've been on the zone. So I just
If he fights Murata and then announces Andrade, I'll be cool with that. And again, it's there should be unifying. Unify. Why
oh you
nobody's
know
unifying? I don't know what's going on.
I think I know what's gonna happen. He gonna fight Jaime Munguia and Gabe Rosado winner. I think that's what's gonna happen. He gonna fight Jaime Munguia if Munguia win. Because that's the only thing I can see. You know what I mean? But so there's a lot of fights coming on this month. Are you looking forward to Emmanuel Navarrete versus what's his name Gonzalez?
Navarrete's good, man. He's just awkward. He got so much freaking length, and that uppercut comes out of nowhere.
Hmm.
So he's exciting to watch. That's a good fight.
Yeah, yeah. I just not looking forward to it. The following days, Mikey Garcia fighting this guy I've never even heard of. Some guy named,
Yeah,
and then they're saying Teofimo and Cambosis is happening at the Barclays Center October 16th.
they
And
changed it too many times. Like I don't care anymore.
it's like, yo, I've never seen something like this. The two guys who share the Ring magazine haven't done anything since they won their last big fight, right? You know what I mean? How many times Tyson Fury and Wilder been rescheduled? How many times Comboses and Teofimo been rescheduled?
The
Is the fight
momentum
gonna
is
happen?
the momentum is done. It moved too much nonsense and drama to the point that it's like, eh.
And then, all right, Lomachenko fights Richard Kami. I think December 11th or something like that, and he beats the guys that Teofimo beat, Nikitani and Kami. Like we're gonna be hyped for 2022 for Teofimo and Lo.
Lopez don't want the rematch.
Either way,
Lopez doesn't want the rematch. So right now Loma's just adding stuff to his resume. That's it. So it's
yeah.
not going to change Lopez's opinion.
Well, I want to see because he can't. It seemed like he can't get a fight because you know how Bob Arum is, man. It's
If
probably
Lopez keeps moving up, Loma's not going to chase him that high.
so again. Like I just don't know what's the plans for Teofimo because he ain't gonna fight Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia ain't gonna fight him. Um, I doubt Javante Davis is not gonna fight him. So what you do? The only thing, it's like I can't get. I just can't. I just can't, man. In boxing, sometimes it can be real disappointing, you know. Um, but we have Jerron Ennis against Thomas Delarme. Ennis is putting in some work October 23rd. No, it's not October 23rd. It's the 30th. And we got Shakur and Jamel Herring the 23rd of October. Well, what's your take on those two fights and those two dates?
Ennis is good. Delorme is a good, you know, good opponent with some experience. So it's kind of a name to put him up against. Hopefully after this, they get some bigger names for Boots to go in with, because he should be a star. Like he got the goods, and they just got to keep putting him against names so he can be a bigger name. So I think that should be a good one. Delorme, uh, definitely a skilled fighter, has a lot of experience, so that should be a good one. Uh, what's the other one you said?
Shakur.
Oh, Herring and Shakur.
Yeah.
It should be a good one. It's the age and experience versus the youth and the speed, and again, it's a style matchup. Herring's been the underdog; he's used to that, so he can pull the upset, or the youth can have their way, and we'll see how it goes. That's another toss-up. But again, it's what's going to prevail that night. Is Herring going to be able to pull one more upset out and basically silence all the doubters who thinking he's done? So it could go either way.
Right. See, my thoughts on the Delorme and Jerron Ennis. I would have wished Jerron Ennis for Clustio Clayton. He had a draw against Sergio, not Sergio, Sergio Lipinets, and most people thought Clayton won. Ennis knocked out Lipinets, so I think that would have been a tougher fight for Ennis. I heard Ennis. I don't know how true it is, but I think Clayton came on the boxing voice, if I'm not mistaken, and said that Ennis turned him down. So I really would have looked forward to that fight because at least the both of them guys fought Clayton. I mean, for Lipinets. So it would have been a tougher fight. And he's undefeated. He's undefeated as well from Canada. The Delarme fight is not really. It's not really exciting to me. Not at all. You know, a lot of people has beat Delarme. He gave Jesse Vargas a tough fight. I think people thought Delarme even pulled it off, but and he beat Kareem Mayfield when he was undefeated. When Kareem Mayfield had this big like little buzz, even
See,
walking
but these are the type of fights that get interesting because you have the opponent that no one expects anything of.
right,
There's nothing to lose.
nothing to lose.
So sometimes that not having that pressure on you is all you need to have a great performance because all the pressure is on Boots to look good. Even if you put up a decent fight and Boots doesn't look good, they're gonna not gonna say talk shit about you. They're gonna say Boots didn't look that good. It wasn't impressive. There's no pressure on you. You win, you lose. There's no pressure. It's all on him how he's gonna look against you. So sometimes that's all you need. So that's some fighters perform best when it's in a scenario where there's nothing to lose. And sometimes you get the best out of them. So that's why I'm like, it should be an interesting fight.
Right, and you definitely right about that because upsets has been happening constantly. But for me, I just want fights that we can be truly exciting for again. Like when they announced Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford, I literally was happy. I finally got something I wanted to watch, something I really was looking forward to. I really, I'm totally jumping up the roof for that fight. Like if I have my table right here, I'm standing up on my table and say, yes, thank you for giving me one, just one. That's all I wanted was give me one, man. I'm saying, but I want more than one, but you get what I mean. I was so excited for that fight to be announced. But back on my talk with Jamel Herring and Shakur Steven and and Thomas Delarme. I just feel like it's going to be an easy night for Jerron Ennis. Uh, like you said, upsets can happen, but I just don't believe it. For that one, I think Ennis right now is like the boogeyman of the welterweight division. Until somebody can really silence this man or even make him bleed or make him sweat, right now he's right now looking flawless right now. Shakur and Jamal Herring, not excited for this fight at all. I knew this fight was coming. I would rather watch before Oscar Valdez. We found out he was a cheater. I was really wanted the unification for Jamal Herring at Oscar because we talk about we want unifications more than mandatories and thing. So I really wanted to see that. I really Shakur should have fought the guy, the Brazilian Olympic gold medalist that Oscar Valdez just fought. That's what they should have done. Put not two golden medals, two Olympic medal fighters, a silver and a gold, fight each other and making the unification against Shakur and Jamal Herring. And that man, whoever wins Shakur and that Robertson, I can't pronounce his last name, won, would have been the mandatory for that unified champion. But it didn't happen the way I envisioned it, the way people wanted it. We wanted to see Jamal Herring and Oscar Valdez. That was a unification. I mean, I wanted to see that. You know what I mean? And I feel like Jamal Herring deserved it. Like, he's a very humble guy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't talk badly about anyone. He does his job and he's pulled out a lot of upsets. Nobody thought, people never thought highly of him after he lost his two fights on PBC. And he came back and went to the drawing board, found a new team, worked with Terrence Crawford and Bo Mack and all the guys in Nebraska, and found a new lane for himself. You know, but I'm gonna pull for Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring is the bigger guy, but Shakur has the better skill. People say he's boring. He don't get touched a lot. People wasn't feeling the press conference when he was talking badly or talking trash about Jamel Herring. People wasn't accepting it because like again, we're sold on Jamel Herring being this good guy. So it's like, I mean, you and y'all friends. Y'all supposed to be friends. Shakur goes to Nebraska and trains in Colorado with Crawford and them like all the time. So like you having this all this negative energy, people wasn't feeling it. Like, nah, we're not feeling it. And I'm not going to criticize you for talking trash, but that's your homie, man. That's your bro. That's your friend. And if he ain't your friend, let the people know, no, he ain't my friend. He never been my friend. He just a guy I see in the gym all the time, and we don't have a relationship. But we were sold that y'all are friends. Like I can't see myself being with you for all these years, training with you, and y'all don't have no kind of relationship. Then I don't get it. Jamel is not a bad guy. How can you not be friends with a guy who's not a bad guy? You know,
Yeah, I don't know none of the personal stuff. All I know is you got the young lion, you got the old veteran. Sometimes the young lion wins, sometimes the old veteran wins. So it should be interesting.
yeah. I know Shakur is gonna win. I'm rooting for Jamel. Like Jamel have a huge family to take care of, and we know Jamel Herring ain't gonna be here for long. Shakur, he still have a lot growing, a lot of money to get, a lot of Jamel is on his way out. Shakur can be here for another 10 years. Jamel can't. You know what I'm saying? And or he can, but I don't think that will be healthy. So, but I know Shakur is going to win. It's I'm just I wasn't looking forward to this fight at all. Um, but we had some fights in November. Oh, Dylan White and Wallen, man, Odie Wallen. What was your thoughts on that fight?
I think it's interesting.
Mm.
Wallen did okay against Fury. He cut his eye, and that kind of changed how the fight kind of went. So you could say he did well, but was it? Did he do well because of the cut and how Fury had to fight to avoid getting freaking the fight stop for the cut on his eye? Uh, I feel bad for White. He's got into number one contender or whatever the hell, silver belt, all this nonsense, and WBC just refuses to mandate him to get his title shot. Regardless if you think he's gonna win or lose, I think he's done enough to earn his shot. And every single time, he's gonna fight this person, he's gonna fight that person. He's tried to fight Luis Ortiz, he's tried to fight Ruiz, he's tried to fight a bunch of people. There's a lot of fights that he's just not getting. So if he's getting the Wallen fight and he wins spectacularly, it's like, hey, this guy gave you a hard time, Fury. So I'm thinking he's assuming Fury's gonna win, and he's trying to get his shot. So it's like I beat the guy that gave you a hard time. So a lot of stuff that White seems to be doing is just trying to justify the shot he already earned, and he just can't get the WBC to give him that damn shot. So
Well, here's the thing. Um, White. The problem is the WBC said, "Yo, to do a title eliminate," right? He doesn't ever want to do it. And that's the problem why he doesn't get his mandatory spot, because they ordered him to fight Luis Ortiz. He turned it down. Not once, but twice. They offered him another time before Dominic Brazilian got his shot. They say, yo, we do a title eliminator. You will definitely get your mandatory spot if you fight Dominic Brazilian. He didn't fight Dominic Brazilian. You see Dominic Brazilian get his title shot. So again, Dylan White does disservice to himself because he doesn't want to enter these title eliminators because I guess he feels they have a chance to knock him out. I don't know why, but to me, he should feel like he can beat the both. And I don't blame him at times because I understand you don't want to lose and then you don't get your title shot. But don't cry about not getting your title shot if you're not going to follow the rules on
But
getting.
how many times does a person make it to the number one contender and the WBC there's title eliminators? They don't always have title eliminators. They pick and choose when they want to do title eliminators.
Yeah, they pick and choose, you know what I
So
mean?
again, there's politics behind it. I don't know what the politics are, but again, every so often when they feel like giving somebody a hard time, it's like let's throw a title eliminator in front of this person.
Yeah, because they want to make money. They want to make money. But they do title eliminators. But sometimes, like, say, champions, right? And people down the list, like, turn down things. Then the person from the bottom row becomes the next mandatory. So again, Dylan White could have got his official title shot because at least if he couldn't beat Luis Ortiz, he definitely could have beat Dominic Brazilian. But he didn't take the chance. He didn't take the chance. But one thing I can say is my number one heavyweight fight, for me, my opinion, is Deontay Wilder versus Dylan White. I like that fight the most out of everything. People can say, forget titles on the line, forget anything. I care about those two men fighting because you know what? I'm going to be entertained for the entire
The build up.
the whole build up, the whole promotion, from the fight get announced. I'm going to be excited because everything about the both of them guys are entertaining. Not like clown jokery and weird like Tyson Fury. Some people find him entertaining. No, Dylan White and Deontay Wilder is going to be entertaining. They're gonna talk. They might even fight each other before the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's how big. That's how much that fight intrigues me. I really want that fight. If you know what I mean, if Fury pulled out on this fight, I would have been like, yes, give me Dylan White, and he step in. Whatever the case might be. That's a fight I truly want as a fight fan. But let's get into. I need to get in on Wallen and Dylan White. This is a tough one. I don't know if Dylan White. I don't know, man. I don't know if Dylan White can pull this off because think about it. Wallen got a chin, right? And can he outbox Wallen? I mean, we've seen what he did against Tyson Fury, one of the best outboxers, right? You know what I mean? So can Dylan White handle that? Then the guy Dylan White turned down to fight Dominic Brazilian. We seen what Wallen did to Dominic Brazilian. So I'm surprised he took this fight. He should have took Charles Martin because Charles Martin been talking hella trash about Dylan White, calling him all kinds of fuck names. So to see that him not fighting Charles Martin, and that's a lesser challenge, and fighting Wallen. I give him credit for fighting Wallen, but I would have maybe fight Charles Martin. You know what I'm saying? I would have fight Charles Martin. You know what I'm saying? Not Wallen. So I gotta respect his nuts. But I'm like, yo, why didn't you fight Dominic Brazilian then? If you gonna fight Wallen, why, you could have fight Brazil.
There's a bunch of names you could have fought that they were throwing out. There was Franklin and uh, they threw a lot of names out. And how they landed on Wallen, I have no idea, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that was a really expected, and they could have fought Martin, man. That yo, my second fight for Dylan White. There's only two fights I want to watch with Dylan White. I'm sorry, man. I like when two fighters can talk trash really well. It's Charles Martin and Dylan White. Dylan White and Deontay Wilder, man. I just think those two fights would have been amazing to see. And now I'm hearing, and this is the funny thing. So Charles Martin might be fighting Andy Ruiz, and Dylan White could have fought him and get him out of the way. Because Charles Martin is going to get a good fight. So y'all just keep like running past him or going around him. He's guaranteeing something. So I think Dylan White should have fought Charles Martin. You know, but then I don't know who's going to win the Wallen fight. I don't know if Dylan White can outbox Wallen. He's awkward and he can box. He can bang at times. So he's not a heavy puncher, but he can bang and he can outbox you. I think, you know, what's interesting. I thought like, yo, Wallen would have been a great sparring partner for for Deontay Wilder to get ready for Tyson Fury. I think Usyk and Wallen and Robert Hilalius would have been great guys to get ready for Deontay Wilder to get ready for Fury. You know what I
What do you think
mean?
of the Kaunaki Helenas too?
I love that fight. You know, I was going to bet $1,000 on Konaki, and I'm glad I didn't do it.
Yeah, that fight was I was laughing. I'm like, this dude was trying to block punches with his face, and that shit didn't work out the way he planned. It just didn't go the way he thought. It just seemed like he figured he could take Helenes's punches, and that Helenes wasn't gonna be able to take his output. And halfway through the fight, it was like, yeah, that shit ain't turning out how you thought it was. I don't know how the second one's gonna go, but hopefully he learned.
I don't even know who's going to win that fight. I was going to bet on that fight, but I'm like, I don't know. I even Fa Jabe fighting what's the guy on Canelo
Frank
too?
Frank Sanchez.
Frank. I don't know who's gonna win that one either. That's a good one. Like I think Wilder card has the best card I've seen in a long time. A long time.
It's it's decent, better than some of these last few that
I'm
were.
telling you, I mean, we're not talking about the greatest card. I'm saying the best out of what we've seen in
Compared to stuff like
anything
the
else.
Pacquiao Ugas undercard, yeah, it's
All
obviously
these
better than
other
that.
cards, hell yeah, I fucking pick this fucking card than anything else. Because think about every pay per view fight, every big time. We don't even get like a good fight on TV anymore. Everything is pay per view. And if we do, the card is like, I haven't been excited for a card. Like, I just want to go straight to the main event. I really do, because it's a bunch of filler.
Yeah, the undercards I enjoy when it's the prospects up and coming, so you can see the new up and coming. But if you got like a Guerrero versus Ortiz, no, pass. Berto versus Guerrero again, no, no, I don't want to see that stuff.
Hey, I don't mind Berto and Guerrero too. But it
Berto
got
and Guerrero, it's too overdue. It's
I
long
know it's too
overdue.
over.
It's
I
to
know
the
it's
point.
overstood.
It's done. It's at this point. It doesn't even matter anymore.
But listen, what was the last card? I'd rather see that fight than I've seen Colin Smith fought the dude on the Joshua Usyk fight. I didn't even care. I don't even know who Colin Smith fought. I'd rather watch that. Berto.
Lennon Castillo, who has never been knocked out and actually went 12 rounds with Bivol. So the fact he got knocked out the way he did was
Mhm.
pretty impressive.
Well, Colin Smith did that
Yeah, Colin Smith knocked him out. Bivol went 12 rounds with him. So
again. I'd rather see that fight, Guerrero and Berto too, than that fight. It's just I just not excited. I want to see names that I actually recognize. It don't have to be um it don't have to be too like prospects or anything or like that. I just want to recognize the name. And at least I know Berto and Guerrero is competitive because they're both done. So they're both like at the same level. I don't think highly, but say if Guerrero fights, say Jaron Ennis, I'm not looking forward to that. That's gonna be a smash. Like Jaron Ennis against Thomas Delarme. I'm expecting Ennis to walk through him, mop the floor off him. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'd rather see Berto and Guerrero than Jerron Evans and Thomas DeLong because like I don't believe in DeLong. I want to, even though I've been seeing so many upset, I still there's certain people I just you gotta make a believe out of.
the reason why Ennis versus Delorme to me is the more interesting one is
Mm-hmm.
because of where does Ennis go after? It's a build-up for him. You're interested in where he goes from there, how he looks because of his potential.
Mm-hmm.
Berto and Guerrero too. It'll be entertaining to see it, but there's no mystery of what happens next. It's okay.
No,
You
I
you
want to
you
go
can you can
retire.
you can go retire and that's it. It's there's
That's it.
nothing. It's the end of the story. It's like okay, there's nothing more to this. It's interesting, but there's nothing more to it. There's no
Right.
intrigue after that.
Bro, I'd rather watch Berto and Guerrero than Omar Figueroa and Adrian Bro.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
You know what I mean? Those are guys like it's sad what I seen with Omar in his last two fights. Sad. It's devastating. You know what I mean? The way he went out. He it, I've never seen Omar Figueroa just get wiped out the floor, just losing every single round. Like it wasn't even competitive against him against Ugis um Ramos, Abel Ramos. So again, like I can't even tell with Figueroa this will be his third fight going in, and Broner looking horrible against the guy he fought in February. The worst I've ever seen Broner. Like I just no. If they made Adrian Broner against Victor Ortiz on the Ugis and Manny fight, I would have looked forward to that because at least I haven't seen Victor Ortiz lose in a long time. And he had the movie, the popularity, Fighting Floyd, the being on Dancing with the Stars, Adrian Broner with his shenanigans and his popularity. I think I would have looked forward to that if that was on the undercard. But I'm not going to look forward to Omar Figueroa and Adrian Broner if that fight ever happens. But I had to see so Canelo fighting Caleb Plant. What was your thoughts on the press conference?
It was funny. It's a lot of egos and testosterone and people trying to seem bigger than what they are. Don't know what was the purpose of that, but you got hit, you got cut. They ain't nothing to brag about. You slapped. You tried to slap Canelo. Your fingers may have touched his face, but he rolled with it. In the still, it looks cool, but in live action, You didn't do anything to him. You wound up with the cut on your face. So to be
Yeah, but
bragging about
if you seen it like the actual hit, he kind of touched him and the glasses came off. He didn't
he's
swing.
he
He,
still got hit. He still got hit, and he looks worse.
yeah,
There's
but he
there's nothing redeeming about it. You got pushed. You try to slap him. He rolled with it, and you wound up with the cut on your
no,
face.
but he got slapped, bro. There's no way he did not get slapped. The fingers actually touched his face, bro.
He rolled with it. If you look at it in real time, regardless if the hand touched his face, he's the one who looked like he got his ass kicked in a press conference.
Hey, he got slapped though. It don't matter. Like name somebody who was ever given no respect to Canelo. Like submit to him. Every time a fighter goes against Canelo,
Nah, even in the weigh-in for Jacobs, they were doing freaking head to head pushing each other and shoving. They didn't get to the point they swung punches, but they were freaking head to head freaking pushing each other with they're trying to headbutt each other.
yeah, but that's the Wayne, right? But then Canelo pushed Jacobs in the press conference.
There was some stuff going on. Like it's this is nothing new. It's just the fact that he pushed Caleb and Caleb tried to swing on him. And
Yeah,
again,
and
it didn't turn out well.
all right, but here's the thing: did Jacobs talk badly about Canelo at the press conference?
No, I don't think for the most part it got to that point. And even still, some people don't have to. If you feel the need that you have to freaking talk shit, some people do it. Some people don't. Like I don't pay no mind to that. Some people do it to talk themselves up. Some people do it because it's an insecurity. They feel that they have to do it to try to get in the other person's head. Either you're gonna beat them with your skill, or you're gonna try to beat them with mind games or whatever it is. It's just unnecessary. I'm like, whatever. It was
Oh,
interesting, but
you don't like the trash talking.
I don't mind the trash talk. It's just for some reason from Caleb, it feels forced.
But Caleb has always been a trash talker.
It just feels forced. It's like, dude, you
Yeah,
just you just you just there to get your belt taken away from you. Just get your
did
belt
you,
taken away and keep it moving.
did you not see what he said about David Benavidez? Was
I
that
heard what he said. I know. I heard what he said. I saw what he said.
slap your brother when
I
I was
saw what he
busy?
said.
This is what I'm saying. And did you see the fake? Like, yo, Caleb has been an arrogant. If you know Caleb, and I've known several coaches and trainers and fighters that tell me how arrogant Caleb is. He's really like that.
It just feels forced.
I'm telling you, bro, Caleb. That's why some people like don't like him. They don't like his arrogance. Yo, all right. Put it like this, right? He had a sparring, right, and he put out the video, right, with him sparring, and the dude is like, "Why would you put up the video?" You know what I'm saying? And he disrespected the dude while he was beating him up in sparring, talking shit. I mean, like, you can tell Caleb is like that. He he's always
No,
been like,
that's fine. But sometimes I'm just saying in terms of that is sometimes it's more of an insecurity thing than just because you like to talk shit. So to me, it feels forced. It's like on look at his resume. Like on your resume, that you really got that much to talk shit about? You have one belt. You're not a unified champ. You just have that one belt. You didn't fight nobody else. Canelo went and collected all the other belts, and now you're the last piece of the puzzle. You
yeah,
weren't.
but what did the other champions do?
They didn't do nothing. That's why Canelo went and collected all those other belts.
That's what I'm saying. None of them. All right. It was three white guys that had the super middleweight belts.
Ain't nobody try
Yeah.
to fight each other. Everybody was just like waiting for Canelo to pick them.
Canelo. Callum Smith takes the fight on 5 weeks' notice. He wanted to fight Caleb first. Caleb said no. He turned it down. Before the Callum Smith fight, he wanted to fight him in May. Caleb turned him down again. He said, yo, I just came off my fight in February. I'm not going straight to camp again and fight Canelo and Cinco de Mayo. No. He turned him down twice. Right? Then the
The
third
only
time
reason
was
he's getting the shot is because he has the last belt.
the last belt. But like
That's
I
it.
said, that's it. But at the end of the day, this is Canelo wanted to do this. He wanted to fight all these guys who didn't do much in their career. You know what I'm saying? At super middleweight, Billy Joe and Colin Smith should have fought each other before they fought Canelo. At least I could have said, all right, they got one solid name on their resume. I really don't know who's the second and third, fourth best. I don't even know because none of these guys is fighting each other. I really wanted to see David Benavidez and Caleb Plant first because all the trash to all the behind the scenes with Caleb and David, the brother incident and all these things, talking about his dead kid. I don't know, but David said he didn't say that, but Caleb saying he did say that. Um, it's just like I wanted to see it when they had the belt, when David had the belt, but David kept making mistakes. And now we're going to see Canelo and Caleb Plant. Now, don't get me wrong. I was never excited for this fight. Never. But what excited me was the press conference because I've never seen, like, even the people want to see Canelo fight the Charlos. You know what the Charlos is saying on social media, on video? Canelo's the best. He's the pound for pound king. How can I ever believe you really want to beat him if you talking like that? You cheerleading. Yo, Billy Joe is a bitch. You know what I mean? You talking about Canelo like that, man. You talking about the ring size. No, bro. Like, I would never believe the Charlos really want to beat Canelo. Never. Because I feel they cheerleading. They keep saying he's the best. So if he's the best, what are you? You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying, DLG? I don't believe none of these guys. If Canelo fought Better Beef, it'd probably be when Better Beef is inactive, old, and didn't even give him a challenge because he was old and he didn't look up. Yo, Better Beef should have over 30 fights right now. And this man is still not, he don't even have 20 fights. Does he even have 15? I don't even remember how many fights he got.
Yeah, I don't remember either how many fights he got. He's had a lot of stints of inactivity.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, and nobody still wants to fight Arthur Better Beef. Nobody. I don't see nobody jumping. I thought Joe Smith would have had some heart and fight Arthur Better Beef, and he didn't even do it. Joe Smith and Arthur Better Beef will give us a fun fight stylistically. And we're not even getting that. Joe Smith signed a 2-fight deal with Top Rank.
And his fight just got postponed because he got sick.
Yeah, wasn't this the second time he got COVID? What was the
Nah,
other reason? The other opponent had COVID?
think this first time he had it. I'm not sure about his opponents, but
What was
it's
the he when he fought for the title, somebody in between Joe Smith and his opponent had COVID and they pushed it back. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm not sure who it was though. But I think this is the first time he got sick.
So again, like I'm just I'm not looking forward to I'm just it's sad. Like nobody has the heart to really smash on Canelo. If David fights him, how can I put my trust in David when David is doing drugs? You know what I mean? He's not making weight. He has a lack of discipline problem. I can't trust him either. So who do I trust? I trust Arthur Beterbiev, who's inactive and he's getting old. He's about to be 40 years old. And what do I believe him? Bivol, who doesn't hardly fight, Bivol, who doesn't have a meaningful fight since he's had the title. Do I believe him? No. It makes it seem like Canelo just like this is not like yo, this is not even it just don't even look fair. Not one weight class. We're talking Canelo's at super middleweight. And we don't even have a challenge for him even at a higher weight class or the weight class he's in now. Who all of these guys are way bigger than him. It's ridiculous, bro. I mean, and the thing about Caleb is like I like that he's being confident. He's showing Canelo no respect. Maybe he might get to Canelo's head. And Canelo blows his load in the first half like he usually do. He hasn't blown his load anymore. I don't know how this man, after all these fights, gained energy in the second half because he's always blowed his load in the first half. And now he has some kind of energy in the second half. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Um, but Caleb just outboxed him, make him use his anger against him, and make him do stupid mistakes. And Caleb used his smartness and his slickness and his athleticism and use it against Canelo. That's his best chance of winning. He's not going to win a toe-to-toe contest with him. So, well, what's your thoughts?
He's the last piece to the puzzle. That's it.
Say you don't give Caleb any chance.
Nope. He could talk all the trash. He could talk all the trash he wants. Words don't hurt.
Yeah, but we have seen words. What they say with Mike Tyson? They lost the fight before the fight even happened.
Yeah, they was intimidated. They didn't have to say nothing. They was just afraid of the persona. It wasn't the words that did anything.
All right, but how many people? What Sugar Ray did to lose the fight against Roberto Duran? Didn't he get his emotions while he lost the first fight? He
There's
don't
nothing.
fight.
There's if Caleb had a big issue with him being a cheater, he would never take the fight. When he got tested the first time, there wasn't the same energy. So calling him a cheater now don't mean shit. It
No,
ain't it
no,
ain't it ain't affecting Canelo in the least.
but we have never seen Canelo this mad. Name a person that pisses off Canelo like this.
Nah, Canelo's gotten upset. He got upset at freaking Triple G when he was asking for more money. He's gotten upset for fucking bullshit. He did
Yeah,
that fucking
but
headbutting
I'm
shit with
saying,
freaking with
but
Jacobs.
disrespect. Nobody disrespects him. Nobody, bro. I'm even Floyd. Nobody really disrespects Canelo, bro. If you check every opponent, nobody. Triple G can't even hardly speak English. He
Because
can't
they're
hardly.
trying to get a fucking payday. They're trying to get a payday. They want to fight. Now he already got the fight. He wants to talk shit. That's on him. That's his choice. I don't think it's gonna make any difference. It don't
No,
mean
I'm just
to
saying.
me. It means absolutely zip. It
Is
don't
it
mean shit.
okay?
It's just
Well,
talk.
all I'm saying,
It's all it's doing is building his own confidence because I guess there's a lack of confidence there. So if you got to talk it to build yourself up, it just to me it comes across as trying to build himself up and trying to make himself a bigger deal. It's I don't think affects Canelo in the least from what I
and
see.
all I'm saying is we have seen guys who are very smart get angry and took their anger in the fight and end up losing the fight. When they use their head like Sugar Ray did in the Roberto Duran two fights, Sugar Ray even said it. If I never got angry, I never use my emotion and just stick to what I do best and fought him the way I fight, I would have never lost that fight.
It's all theatrics. I don't think it means in this situation. I don't think it means anything. It's more to
No,
boost
I'm
up
not saying, but we can't.
Caleb's own brand.
Everybody has emotions. Sometimes words do hurt. You know what I mean? If you're a person that no word can ever affect you, then
The
that's
only difference I see it is some scenarios to a boxer, it's a job. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna win. You piss them off. Now it's I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna punish you. There's the difference. And you're putting yourself in a situation of just losing a fight and being punished in a fight.
okay. So we got two different opinions. I think Caleb.
I can see your perspective of that, but when it comes to Caleb, for whatever reason, from what I get from it, it's that trash talk is more building himself up, not the mind games of trying to throw Canelo off of his. Because I don't think it's affecting Canelo in the least. I think it's more Caleb trying to boost himself up with that talk.
All right. So who do you think can give Canelo the best fight? If you just think Caleb just can,
Unfortunately, it's just gonna be the bigger guys because he's fought slick boxers. He's fought Erislandy Lara. He's fought Billy Joe Saunders, and we saw how that went. He's fought bigger guys. He fought freaking Callum Smith, and we saw how that went. So it's
but
unfortunately the challenge is going to be the bigger, stronger guys. So the better beeves, the beevols. That's what's going to be the challenge because the guys at 160, guys his own height, dudes knock dudes out at 175. He's not going to do it to people at 160. So it's the challenge is going to be fighting
who did he
someone
knock out
bigger
at
and
160?
technically stronger.
Who did he knock out at 160?
He knocked out freaking whatchamacallit at 175. He knocked out Kovalev. He's
Yeah,
knocked
but
out
that's what
Billy
that's
Joe
what
Saunders at 168.
but that's what I'm saying. It seemed rigged. How you don't knock out anybody at 154, really? You don't knock out nobody at 160. You don't knock out nobody at the catch weights when you was fighting over 160 like Chavez at 164. And you didn't knock out anybody at 168, but you knock out Kovalev at 175. You didn't knock out Trout. He didn't knock out Laura. He didn't knock out Floyd. He didn't knock out Cotto. And those catch weights, they were fighting 150, 157. You know what I'm saying? 156, 155. Yo, who did he knock out? James Kirkland? You know what I'm saying? We went from Liam Smith. Liam Smith.
He got
Oh,
knockouts. He may not knock everybody out, but he do got knockouts.
yeah, but I'm saying we went from Liam Smith to Kovalev. And you don't knock out nobody else. I mean, these things make me think, man. Something suspicious, man. But like again, I don't believe in better beef for one reason. I just feel like whenever Canelo does decide to fight him, better beef will be too old and too inactive that I don't know. I don't think he give him a challenge. Better be and Bivol, he ain't fighting nobody.
He was trying to fight Canelo.
Only Canelo, but that's not in his weight class. You're a champion, light heavyweight. Why are you not fighting the champions or the top guys at 175? That's what I'm not understanding. Not understanding that, man. But what's your thoughts? So we got a couple more fights that's in November. Crawford and Porter, and they reschedule the Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa. So let me just get your takes on that, and we can wrap it up.
I think Fulton's winning. Should be a decent fight, but I think it should be entertaining. But I think Fulton wins that one. Crawford and Porter should be good. Uh, Crawford just has. I like Crawford. Porter always makes it an ugly fight. It's hard to look good against Porter. It's not an easy thing, and you got to come prepared because he has that freaking. I've never seen anybody with a gas tank like Porter. So it'll be a good fight. So I'm looking forward to it. But I favor Crawford for that one.
All right, so for my take on the Crawford and Sean Porter, man, I'm just happy we got this fight, and we got Fulton and Figueroa unification. I think those are my two favorite fights of this year. Um, I'm not excited for Tyson Fury and Wilder. I just want to get it over with, really do. I was excited for Earl and Manny, but we saw what happened in that situation. But the two fights that I hope we get is the Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. Hopefully, none of these guys get COVID because they both had COVID. Stephen Fulton got COVID before when he was about to fight Angelo Leo for the title. He, and he ended up fighting him after Leo won the title, the vacant title. And then Figueroa now just suffered from a COVID and had to push back from September 18th to November 27th. So hopefully they both are ready, no injuries, no accidents, no COVID, and we get to see a fun unification. Um, I love this fight. I'm gonna go with Stephen Fulton for cause from my city, Philadelphia. Um, I think Fulton is very slick and he can fight. He showed in the Leo fight he can do it all. He really impressed me. He fought Leo style, and I didn't know he had that in him. I didn't know, and he did show it after having fought for a year, having COVID, and he fought like he didn't have COVID and he wasn't inactive, and that's what impressed me so much. Brandon Figueroa impressed me so much because he beat Luis Neri, and I did not believe. No, I don't think a lot of people believe Luis Neri was gonna be was gonna lose to Brandon Figueroa. He really beat the dog shit out of Neri. And I thought Neri was way better than him. Even lost money on that fight. I bet it on Neri, and Neri just got me losing money, man. You know what I mean? Can't believe it. But one thing I'm so impressed, yo, Figueroa fights like a dog. Like, you really gonna be fighting for 12 rounds. You gonna earn your money. And he keep it going. And if you can't hang with his intensity, he's going to murder you. He's going to murder. He's tall. Like, I can't believe somebody this tall can be at 122. He's too tall for 122, and I don't know how he makes the weight. And he is beating. Like, I won't be surprised if Figueroa win this fight. I got Fulton as the better fighter winning, and he's from my city, and I'm go with my city. But I'm not going to underestimate Figueroa ever again. I just lost money on him. I'm not losing. I'm not trying to go all the way and say, yo, he's going to definitely lose this fight. This is a 50-50 fight because I'm a bet on Fulton, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, you might lose your money again. And I'm if Fulton lose, man, we gotta have a conversation. We're gonna have a conversation because man, I can't lose twice to Figueroa. You're gonna make me go broke. So I love this fight. I really want to get Fulton on my show. I really want to interview him. I really want to get to know him more. He's my new favorite. Um, he's one of my new favorite fighters. Top five favorite fighters right now. I'm really interested in what Fulton does with his career. And I like the lower weight classes more than the higher weight classes than everybody else. Maybe because I'm small and I like the weight classes. I'm around that fluctuating weight. So I'm really intrigued in that matchup. Crawford and Porter, I glad this is going to be a war. I've never seen Crawford fight somebody with Sean Porter ferociousness, somebody who's going to be on you all night. It's like he's raping you in the ring with his fists. You know what I'm saying? And I've never seen Terrence Crawford with that intensity. Terrence Crawford is finally fighting that top five welterweight. You know what I mean? And Sean Porter is the real deal, man. One thing, if you wanna give Gabe Rosado credit, you gotta give Sean Porter credit because he definitely give us wars and exciting fights. You know
It's
what I
everybody.
mean? So, and the difference between Rosado and Porter got some big wins. You know what I'm saying? Not just one. Got some really big wins, and he doesn't have as double numbers as Rosado losing. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see Crawford fight something. I have like $500 on Crawford. I'm betting on. I was born in Nebraska, but I was raised in Philadelphia, and I'm betting on Nebraska. I'm betting on Crawford. Man, let's win this money, bud. Like, let's win this money, man. I'm betting $500 on you. And 78 Sports he ain't playing. He want his money. So we gotta win this, bud. Like, it's time because we want to see you. We want to see you get the real fights, man. We want to see you, and I'm glad we got this fight. And I think this will be a great test to get the ball rolling for Bud future. But Bud has to get past this. Can he get past this? We're gonna see November 20th. But I don't think we should sleep on Sean Porter because maybe Sean Porter got one in him, winning a huge one. You know what I'm
You never know.
saying? You never know. Like, we've seen upsets. So I could think highly of Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter prevails. Now he can get his rematch with Earl Spence. Now they can really run it back because now he has the WBO title. So Crawford really has to. And can Crawford beat Sean Porter better than Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, and Earl Spence? I don't know. And I remember when Kenny Porter said, like, what you gonna do to my son? Like, y'all are gonna run or you gonna hold. So hearing those words, and that always stuck to me. If you're gonna either run or hold, what can Bud do? Because I don't see Bud doing a lot of. He don't be clinching. You know what I'm saying? So is he gonna run? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But can Bud knock out Sean Porter? That's gonna be like, yo, if Bud knock out Sean Porter, man, that's a statement. That's a fucking statement, man. That's a statement, and I'm gonna be enjoying that. Like, if he could do something like that, but what if Porter like pressure just too much for Bud, and Bud like just like can't handle it. Just like the you know what I mean, the ferociousness is too much. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough fight. I'm really gonna enjoy those two fights in November. And I'm glad we're getting it the week after each other. So we got November 20th, Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, and November 27th, Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. So I'm a happy man. And we have before that The week before those is Benavidez and Uzkataki, Munguia and Gabe Rosado November 13th. And November 6th, we got Canelo and Caleb Plant. So November is probably looking like the hottest month of boxing. But I'm hearing December is probably looking amazing. I'm hearing Tank coming back in December, Broner coming back in December, Gary Russell coming back in December, um, Jojo Diaz and Ryan Garcia is coming back in December, Devin Haney. So, I mean, we're getting something. But I'm really looking forward to it. Definitely, man. But I want to thank DLG for coming through. This is my first show in 2 years. You know what I mean? Hopefully I keep it going again. I don't know, man. I just miss my co-host Boxing Eye. I haven't talking boxing with him for a while, so I'm gonna figure it out, man. But I'm glad I had my bro DLG here. Like again, if y'all want to get some great flyers for your fighters or a boxing event or any promoter want to look at some great artwork, holla at DLG. I'm gonna let him give you his social media again before he chip out of here.
Thank you, thank you. Always a pleasure. Always fun talking boxing with you. Again, that's DOG Image Creations. All my stuff is there. Just hit me up. Posters, flyers, whatever you need, even logos.
All right. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Salute to everybody who ever listened to this. Appreciate DLG for coming through and talking boxing with me, man. Appreciate it, man. You have a blessed night, bro.
Take it easy.
All right, cool.